Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and it is another doomsday, not really of a Monday, of a Tuesday for the New York Football Giants. And we are going to be live streaming the Joe Schoen press conference here on the channel. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to watch this, interact with us on this channel, and see what Joe Schoen had to say, as it looks like they are about to get rolling here at the press conference any moment. As soon as they do, we will show you guys the press conference live from 1925 Giants Drive. It is the bye-week presser for Joe Schoen, and he's got a lot to answer. Hopefully the beat reporters brought their A game today, and they're able to ask some questions. I know this. We want change. We need change. If you want the Giants to turn it around, type me in the comment section and hit that thumbs up icon for us. My guy Marty Malela coming in with a $50 super chat. Marty, we will get to that coming up momentarily, but we want to make sure that everybody, as soon as this presser goes live, of course Joe Schoen is late. Shit happens for his own press conference, but we'll have it live here on the channel as soon as they do go live. JV Bronx says, Marsh, where you at for the Knicks? Brother, I've only said it 500 times. We do Knicks games during the NFL season from Monday to Thursday, meaning we will be live on the channel tonight. So, Joe Schoen press conference coming up momentarily. We're going to see what Mr. Joe Schoen has to say today. Shout out to everybody in the building. If you want to shout out, type me down in the comment section, and we'll give some shout outs to the real ones. Shout out to Joe, Mikey Dior. Shout out to Imario in the building. Ty Man the Buckeye, XO, Logic, Tiger Metal Stack. Where is KO? Vinny, Bong Jammin', Johnson. What up? Mr. J, Abraham, Mo Money, Mo Pa. Marty Malela, this is the only Giants channel I watch now. Marty, I appreciate that, my man. Can everybody give me an MM in the comment section as Marty Malela sending a $50 super chat. He's been supporting this show like crazy. We have 400 people in the chat. If you're ready for this live stream to start, hit that thumbs up icon for me. Let's go. Shout out to all of y'all. Zachary in the building. Michael. 400 people, 42 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Please, please, please hit that thumbs up icon. Shout out to my guy, Marty Malela, coming in with a $50 super chat. We appreciate you, Marty. Really, really do. Says, hello, Giants Now crew. I'm still sick from that thrashing last night. Yeah, I got a lot to say about the game last night. I thought it was the most embarrassing game of the season for the New York Giants. My main takeaway was there were two teams playing last night, but only really one team was playing with any intention to win. When you watched that game for the New England Patriots, they played fast. They played physical. They played with a mindset of we are willing to do whatever it takes to win. They were up 15 in the fourth quarter, still trying to throw the football, trying to extend the lead, where the New York Giants were down 15 in the fourth quarter, and they were trying to establish the run with Devin Singletary. That team in New England, they have an identity. The New York Giants also have an identity. The only identity they do have, though, is losing, because they have the most losses since 2017. They are 5-25 in their last 30 games. And boy, oh boy, does Joe Schoen have a lot to talk about. I mean, I'll just say this. Of course Abdul Carter is late to meetings. His own general manager isn't even on time to his own press conference. Unbelievable. Jaxson Dart said it was an embarrassing loss on Monday night. Yes, it was, Jackson. Yes, it was. 500 people in the building. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon for us. 100 likes. We're trying to run the likes up. We're always trying to get to 50% of the likes. My guy Mike Nintendo in the building. What up, Cool Phil? CTM. J Fed. What up? Shout out to y'all. X Logic. Mr. Farm Boy. I'll say this. The live stream comments on the Giants YouTube page. It is something right now in the Joe Schoen. All I'm seeing is Sleepy Joe, Fire Joe. Not great. Unreal. Corey in the building. What up, Corey the Savage? What up? Double M showing some love to Marty Malela. We appreciate you, Corey. Thank you for being a real one as always. Appreciate you, brother. My man Calvin in the building. That's my guy. They on that Abdul Carter schedule. I just said it, man. I just said it. Shit happens. I mean, how can you be late to your own press conference? Hopefully they're firing his ass, and that's why he's late. Hopefully that's why he's late. I know the New York Giants care a lot more about PR than they do wins. I'll tell you this much. Looking at this chat, the PR team is crying right now how bad it is. Because it's bad. Why is Joe Schoen late? Who's got the best reason? Wrong answers only. Why is Joe Schoen late? Do you have one, Andrew Connell?
I think I heard some people in the chat saying he's hanging out with Abdul. Maybe they're both doing something. They lost track of time. Maybe they have the same watch guy, and their watch guy is programming their watches late at a time. Whatever it is, I'm sure I can't wait to hear the excuse of why he's late.
Unreal. We had a couple more super chats come in. We'll continue to roll through those as we await Joe Schoen for his press conference, which was supposed to start 9 minutes ago. He's on that Abdul Carter time, man. Shit happens. I mean, hell, why wouldn't the GM be late? The players aren't even showing up on time. So not a good look there for the New York Giants. My guy Marty Malela, another $20 super chat. Give me some MMs in the chat. Marty, we appreciate you, my man. Abdul and Joe are one and the same people, never on time. It's your fault.
My fault. It's the fans' fault. It's all you guys' fault. It's the fans' fault. The reason the Giants
It's Abdul's fault, but Abdul says it's Joe's fault, and Joe says it's Abdul's fault, and all they do is point the finger at the New York Giants. I want to give them a certain finger, I'll tell you that much. Marty, we appreciate you, my man. Over 500 people watching. As soon as this Joe Schoen press conference starts, we will be streaming it live here on the channel. Corey, what up, my man? John Mara needs to sell the effing team. Never going to happen.
Yeah, it's a family business. I don't think it's only been in the Mara family since it was started. No matter what happens, they're not going to. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything the fans can do to make that change, unfortunately. And it's our fault. So I mean, why would they have to sell anyway?
Shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Shit happens. I mean, when you can lose 2 of your first 13 games, win only 2 of your first 13 games, you just got to do it.
Absolutely.
You just got to do it.
You can't pass up on that opportunity. Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Michael Champlin coming in with Sleepy Joe.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but he is now almost 12 minutes late to his own press conference. Lead by example. Is he getting some last-minute coaching from the PR team like we saw in Hard Knocks?
Yeah, don't say this.
Don't say this, Joe. Also, they're going to judge you for your body language, Joe. I'm judging the shit out of Joe Schoen today. I hope the beat reporters bring their fastball.
It's New York. I think they do. And credit to Joe Schoen. The one thing he's always ready with is excuses. So
he is the best excuse maker.
The greatest
in the business.
excuse maker. I saw people in the comments of our chat. What happened to Tom Coughlin time? Yeah, it's if you need a microcosm of what's happened to the New York Giants, just look at that. 15 minutes early is late, and now we're 15 minutes late, and it's okay.
Yep. Man. I'm fed up with Joe Schoen. I just am, and I can't wait to see what do you think the spin he's going to say today. On a serious note, what do you think he's going to say?
That we need to learn how to finish games because other than last night, last night's just going to be an outlier. He's not going to address any real concerns that came out of that game last night. It's just one game. You look at the trend of games, and we've been having leads in the fourth quarter, and we've been competing against good teams, and for that reason, we're almost there. We're right there. We just need to learn how to close games.
GRK says, Marshall, I'm at work right now watching y'all. If I get fired, shit happens. Yeah, no, just tell your boss shit happens.
That's it.
That's what you're allowed to do. Just shit happens. Oh, man. I think he's going to talk about You know, we were able to build 7 double-digit leads this year. We're a more competitive team. He's going to bring back the one-score games thing. He's going to talk about Malik Neighbors being injured, Cam Scadaboo being injured. I bet he pulls this one. The offensive line is fixed.
It's so much better, yeah.
The third oldest offensive line with Greg Van Roten set to retire, Jermaine Illuminor a free agent. He's going to credit himself for the offensive line, even though he backed into that because he signed Jermaine Illuminor to play left guard. So I think he's going to give credit to himself and his staff for building the offensive line. I think he's also going to talk about how the Giants have had 10-point leads in 7 games this year. The talent is better. It's just year 4, Andrew. Now we got to finish. We got to figure out how to finish.
That's it. If we'd be the greatest team in the league if we could just finish games.
Does he pat himself on the back for Jameis Winston as well? Maybe.
Yeah. Look at that. All the moves that worked out so far that he's done this season, despite the team having only 2 wins. It's not his fault.
I hope that someone hits him with Joe. Last year, you told us and you sold management on the New York Giants being a quarterback away. Well, now you have a quarterback, and you're 2-11, and you have another 7-game losing streak. What are you now away?
He's going to throw the coaching under the bus 100%. That's you guys just wait. We're going to get this next hire right. That's going to change the script. It's going to flip the script on this team. We're going to maximize all this young nucleus of talent that we have, and we just went through a few ones. He's probably got all those excuses holstered and ready to go. What
about we drafted a guy and Marcus Bowe showed that he could play right tackle and play left tackle.
We have 6 good linemen.
We drafted Cam Scadaboo in round 4. He's going to be a franchise back for us. Jaxson Dart is looking good, even though I didn't want him. Every excuse. What's the most outlandish excuse you could use today, you think?
Outlandish that
we're just a defense away.
Yeah, it's or something like making excuses for Abdul Carter being late. I think that's the most outlandish thing that he could do.
Joe, you talk about adding talented players in the draft, except that Deonte Banks isn't a leader, Kayvon Thibodeau's not a leader, Evan Neal's not a leader, Malik Neighbors isn't a leader, and Abdul Carter's not a leader. Do you vet these guys in the process?
Yeah, what was the character read you got coming out of Penn State with Abdul Carter? They all raved about his maturity and his NFL readiness and his pro. He was such a pro at Penn State. I don't know, man.
Robert with a good one. Really, we're a decent kicker away. We're a kicker away, Robert. We're a kicker away. Oh, Lord. Kelvin, yeah, we can all agree Daboll needed to be fired, but at the end of the season would have been better. I'll say this. Daboll deserved to be fired, but if I were to create a list of all of the things that were a problem with the Giants, Brian Daboll maybe makes the top 5.
Yeah, it's listen, he's got to be held responsible as well at the end of the day. He plays a role in it, but he is not the reason or the main reason. I think I agree with that. There's so many other larger problems.
I hope someone asks him to grade Mike Kafka. You fired Brian Daboll. The statement coming out of the building was that there was talent on this team enough to win. Now you've changed the head coach, you've changed the defensive coordinator, you've lost 3 games in a row. So what? How many more fall guys are in the organization?
It's the special teams coordinator.
He's the reason they didn't coordinator. Kick it. There we go.
His fault.
Yep. Joe Schoen is now 16 minutes late to his own press conference.
Shout out to Nico. Marsh addresses already. He said, I'm at work right now watching you. If I get fired, shit happens. Would you? Oh, my God. If he says shit happens when they in the press conference,
he should. It would lighten the mood.
Yeah.
It would lighten the mood. Smart, tough, dependable. Joe Schoen, you can't even show up to your own presser on time. How are you dependable? How are you dependable? Joe Schoen, you're now picking 2nd in the NFL draft in year 4. On the day you took this job, you said I could build a team that can win today and compete for tomorrow. When are they going to start winning and when are they going to start competing?
They've done neither of those things, save for one playoff season with a roster that he didn't build, and then he tore down as well. So shout out to Nico. Shout out to Mike. Coming in with 5, says this kid Dart is special after the deadline. The fact we put him out there with no help told us all we need to know. We were 2-4 after the Eagles win.
Yeah, I don't. Well, the reason you have no hope is because the roster you built is bare. There's no depth. Is there a world where it's John Mara and he says, we have decided to fire Joe Schoen. No?
I don't know, because that would be a bad PR look for the Giants. It would look like they didn't plan, they didn't know what they were doing, and the Giants don't like to operate in that.
What do the Giants like to do? Lose. Lose.
The best at losing.
They're the greatest at losing. The most losses since 2017, actually.
Unbelievable. There's a playoff season sprinkled in there too. So that just shows
and a playoff win.
And they've been in the other seasons besides that. So shout out to Mike. We appreciate your support, man. We got Marty Malela again coming in with 10. Says, we are always just one more thing away. We are a GM away.
We're always one thing away, Marty. It was first we're an offensive line away. Then we needed to get a weapon for Daniel Jones. Then we just needed Andrew Thomas to stay healthy. Then we just needed Daniel Jones to stay healthy. And then we just needed a quarterback. And now we just needed a head coach. And then we lost 3 games since we fired the head coach. We're just a defensive coordinator away. Now you're 0-1 without the defensive coordinator, and now you are a GM away, and that's actually the only accurate thing that they are 1X away from. A GM away. A GM away. That's what they're away. I mean, hell, Jalen Hyatt, healthy scratch, year 3, third-round pick that you traded up for, that you actually wanted to draft in round 2. Think about that. The Giants wanted to pick Jalen Hyatt in round 2. And he can't even make the game day 48 roster. It's unbelievable. If you want Joe Schoen to start this press conference, hit that thumbs up icon for us. We got 900 people in the building. Only 189 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Please, please, please hit that thumbs up icon for us as we all wait for Mr. Joe Schoen to come speak to the media. At this point, he is 19 minutes late.
The longer it goes on, the more lucky I'm believing that he is fired. I mean, what else could be the holdup at this point? You think, what's going on right now? I think they're in the Giants. They're scrambling. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You think he's nervous? Shout out to Edwin, by the way, came in with 5, says Joe stayed because Mary needs to focus on his health. Joe will be let go after the year is up.
So you're going to hire a head coach, and then you're going to fire the GM next year, or do you mean after the year, meaning
I think like the season.
Once the season's over? So then you're then going to set yourself behind in the GM search, which sets yourself even further behind in the head coach search. The New York Giants, man, they outdo themselves every single time. Every single time. Edwin, I will just say this. If John Mara was healthy enough to fire Brian Daboll, he's healthy enough to fire Joe Schoen.
Fair. Shout out to you, Edwin. Appreciate you watching and supporting. We got Cazador coming in. Tomlin, my worry is the OC. He hired Matt Canada and Arthur Smith.
And you know what? And he never had a losing season with those people. Yeah. Imagine if he was actually able to get that hire right. Imagine if they
had a good quarterback.
Yeah, instead of Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph, they actually had Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, Steelers passed on Jaxson Dart as well this past year.
Unreal, man. We are now 21 minutes late for Joe Schoen. 21 minutes late for Mr. Joe Schoen in his press conference today.
We might as well get to 25 because they've lost 25 of their last 30 games. It would be too symbolic.
"22 minutes late. Tomlin, I understand the easy, low-hanging fruit you can grab and try to say why Mike Tomlin isn't the right coach. My response would be, who is? Who is a better coach than the Giants than Mike Tomlin right now?
It's hard to find. There's not many football coaches alive, much less in the league, that you can argue are better than Mike Tomlin. I don't think there is a good answer to that question. The guy's never had a losing season, and I get you shouldn't be shooting for 8-8 or whatever, but look at where we've been.
Oh, we've got breaking news. Wesley Steinberg says Joe Schoen is late because his modernized building must be having tech issues.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Oh, man. Do you think they're going on the LED board today? What what awesome piece of tech is Joe Schoen going to have behind him?
I don't know. I'm eager to see. At this point, the most exciting thing is going to be what's his excuse for being late.
Does someone ask him, why are you late?
Maybe he makes that the story instead of having to talk about what's actually going on with this football team.
Imagine being 5-25 in your last 30 games as the general manager, and you don't even show up late. You don't even show up on time. And it's not 5 minutes late. It's not 10 minutes late. It's not 15 minutes late. It's not 20 minutes late. We are now almost 25 minutes late to the Joe Schoen presser. He's unserious. He's unserious. Unfreaking serious. Benjamin, what up, my man? He's late because he doesn't care about us. Hey, shit happens. What, did he get a flat tire this morning?
Yeah.
I won't even say that. It's unreal. Unreal. Over almost 1,000 people in the building. If you haven't yet, smack that thumbs up icon for us. Mike says Kubiak would cook with Dart neighbors. I think Kubiak would be a good option. I do have a little bit of... Someone says, look at the title. Title of this show? What do you mean, look at the title?
The presser.
It says live at 2:15 p.m. Oh, they changed it.
Oh.
The Giants have moved back the presser.
So that makes it okay. I mean, that's still 5 minutes away, so.
Unreal. Really. So you're still late.
Yeah.
You're still late.
No, but they're not late because they changed the time right before it was about to, after they were already 25 minutes late, they changed the time.
Why did they move back the presser 30 minutes?
I don't know. What? Still says Joe Schoen presser, right? Like not.
No, it says John Mara's firing Joe Schoen.
Ah.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding. A man can dream. A man can dream, can he? It was supposed to start at 1:45, and now he's 30 minutes late, so they've moved it back to 2:15.
They rescheduled it.
No. No, I haven't. There's no way. Well, no, they moved it back so they're not late. No, they just changed the YouTube title. No. It was scheduled for 1:45. Then it got to, talking Eastern time here, it was scheduled for 1:45. Then it got to 2:10, and they moved it back to 2:15. The graphics weren't checked. Shit happens, guys. Unreal. Shit happens, boys. Shit happens. When you are run by these two people, not much success is going to follow.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it for 4 seasons now. I don't know what else they need to see.
Is there a world where John Mara walks out and says, he's fired? I literally would buy a Giants jersey with Mara on the back.
Let's go.
If the Giants, if he comes out and like a badass theme music and he's here.
It's like some WWE. Like.
WWE walks out. We fired him. We fired him. I will buy a custom jersey that says John Mara on the back. John Mara on the back.
Shout out to Scarlett coming in with 2, says, I'm genuinely surprised we haven't gone 0-16 yet.
Joe Schoen's not even good enough to do that, or they would have.
He's not even the best at losing. He's not even the best at losing.
We would have Drake May if that was the case.
Yeah.
Thanks,
or
DeVito.
Jaden Daniels, or, you know.
Are they trying to – Tony says Joe is trying to turn off the YouTube chat.
I'm sure.
Unreal, man. Scarlett, I'm genuinely surprised. Yeah, same. Christian, there is literally no excuse to be late. Well, they're not late. They just moved the time back after being 25 minutes late.
They just wanted to make sure we were there.
Okay, on a serious note, it's 3 minutes away. If he's not live in 3 minutes,
I don't know.
I'm going to freak out. Everyone wants it to be John Mara when he walks out. Are we waiting for John to get to the office?
I don't know. I'm running out of ideas at this point of what could possibly be going on. Shout out Christian. Shout out Andrew as well. Phenomenal name. He says, I guess Abdul takes after the GM. Yeah, it's clear that they must have. We said this during the game yesterday. They must have hit it off. They probably had a meeting scheduled. They probably both walked in 15 minutes late, and they said, "Oh, look at this. We walked in right at the same time," and they became best buds after that.
Shit happens, boys. Shit happens. Joe, why are you 30 minutes late? Shit happens. Shit happens. That's the only way to make this okay.
Yeah.
You walk out and it's, shit happens.
I'd actually have some respect for
I
not taking himself
I
too
would gain the
seriously.
first bit of respect I ever had for Joe Schoen if he did that. And he came out as a parody account as well.
He also tweeted out this morning Joe Schoen will be fired.
Well, Joe Schoen's now 30 minutes late to his own presser.
Someone said Joe Schoen's getting promoted. That's why they're behind on the press.
An extension. The Giants are announcing a Joe Schoen extension. I think I would quit. I think I'd quit this job if Joe Schoen got an extension today.
Cazador's Joe Gooning in his pre-presser meeting. I'm not sure what that one means 100%, but
a lot of people were saying that about Abdul Carter yesterday.
okay.
I'm not sure what it means, though. Tony, Joe's trying to turn off the YouTube chat. It's unreal, man. Like, what can go wrong will go wrong with this fan base, or with this team.
Not the fans. Hey, it's not the fans.
Not the fans' fault, Marshall.
Come on.
It's not the fans' fault.
Shout out Tony.
Tony, we appreciate you. Marty Malela, Abdul and Shane are having lunch together discussing how to be late. Do you think they were late to lunch?
Yeah.
Who was later to lunch? The latest. Who do you think was more late to lunch, Abdul Carter or Joe Schoen?
Type AC for Abdul Carter. Type JS for Joe Schoen. Let us know in the chat.
Retro, we're doing all Knicks games Monday through Thursday, my man. That's the schedule during the Giants season. Once the Giants season is over, we're doing all of the Knicks games. It's now 2:15. Shout out to you, Marty. Mike, I'm just so embarrassed to be a diehard fan. I am as well. I am embarrassed. Hopefully, we are moments away from this press conference being started, as it is now 2:15. Do we now count on extra minutes for being late?
I don't know at this point. I'm running out of words.
No way he could be late twice, right? Right? You can't be late twice.
I don't know. It's still, what is it? He's already a minute late here, so.
Oh, he's late twice.
Bro, didn't they say at school 15 minutes if you're ready to get the legally leave and you get paid?
Hopefully they can escort him out of the
Maybe
building.
that's what he's hoping that happens. Everyone leaves.
Unreal, man.
Edwin. Mara walks
He's asking his kid who to draft.
Mara walks out Chris Benoit theme or Steve Austin's theme with beers in his hand. I think Ed just hit the best.
I'll say this. If it's John Mara, I'll get two happy dads ready. James Yoder, if you're watching, it's going to be a cleanup on aisle Studio H. If it's John Mara that comes out and announces he's fired, I'm stone cold Steve Austining these beers. Brett and James, I'll pay for the cleaning lady. We'll pay with the super chats for the cleaning person. Stone cold Steve Austin if it's John Mara coming out and say we have decided to fire Joe Schoen. God, I would literally cry of happiness. I would cry. I would cry tears of joy. Unreal, man.
Joel says, seriously, do you think he got fired and they are trying to figure out now who is going to speak?
I don't think so, but I hope so.
Like I said,
I keep on looking down. Hopefully it says John Mara press conference.
I'm looking. I got it over here in case it comes on. But I think, personally, the longer it goes on, the more likely I believe. I still don't think that's what's going to happen, but it increases in probability in my mind the longer we're sitting here waiting.
This is embarrassing.
The realist says,
He's legitimately 32 minutes late.
How can we expect AC to be on time if JS can't be?
I don't know, Andrew. How can we expect you to be on time?
Yeah. Well, we think we're talking about Abdul Kadir.
Oh,
here,
okay.
Shit happens. That's it.
Shit happens. Look,
that's it. You know,
anything in life, it just shit happens.
I should have just showed up late today and then told you, sorry, Marsh, shit happens.
What would I have done?
Yeah.
Would I have benched him for the first quarter?
You would have had someone else produce the first 10 minutes, and then I would have came on and been ready to go.
He's now 3 minutes late or 33 minutes late. Which one does he want to go with? Oh, we're starting. I think we're starting, boys. All right, we're getting rolling here. I swear I think I heard John Mara. And I think I just heard Joe Schoen. They're getting set. You can hear the audio. We're getting ready to roll here. I think I heard John Mara, but I also think I heard Joe Schoen. All right. Momentarily, he's already 4 minutes late. Did we just hear John Mara? Could you hear that? Audio's going to roll, right? You just have to unmute that? Cool. When you do, mute me as well. Am I also live with Joe Schoen? And am I play-by-playing his meeting while it's on the screen? Shut the hell up, Joe. I think I heard John Mara, but I also think I heard Joe Schoen. Well, it's not happening. It literally was like for 5 seconds. And they cut it out. 35 minutes late. They're going to blame it. Oh, we were having technical difficulties.
Yep.
But, Joe, the only reason you have your job is because of the damn LED board.
Number one job, Joe. That was your number one. That's the best thing he's done for this organization so far. Unbelievable.
I could hear the audio through my ear.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a 5-second audio. Like they said, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
And then it said, "Yeah." And I felt like it was John Mara who said, "Are you ready?"
Okay.
Do you think he should be up there? I think he should.
That would be something. Joe, that would help Joe not get any questions. Everyone's just going to ask John, "What do you think? What do you think?" No one's going to ask Joe any questions if that's the case.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
It's all about a strategy. They got a strategy.
There's no strategy. Our strategy is to lose 25 of our last 30 games. That's the strategy. I understand your question. I understand your question. I understand your question. I understand your question. And 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 your question. And your question. And your question. And your question. Shit happens. That was the press conference. The New York Giants are a fucking joke. The New York Giants are a joke. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. I understand your question. I'm going to support Mike Kafka. Everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes. That's Joe Schoen. That's Joseph Schoen. I understand your question. No, truly, I understand your question. Don't worry, guys. I understand your question. Don't worry. I understand the question. I understand this question right here. I understand it. What's lethal shooter? I understand it now. That was Joe Schoen today. I understand it now. Andrew, I'd love for you to mic up as we just watch that. We just got done watching the Joe Schoen press conference where he let everybody know he understands their questions. I would like to hear from you first, Mr. Andrew Connell. What do you think of what just happened and what he had to say? and all of that, because I don't know if you heard, he understands the question.
Yeah, he understands the question, and it starts with him. In case you guys didn't know, it
No
starts
way.
with him. Yeah, so it just seemed like he was a little tone deaf to what's going on, and I got varying degrees of he was not safe because he was told that they're going to evaluate, the ownership is going to evaluate the entire football operations department at the end of the season, which made me think, okay, maybe he's actually not safe. Maybe they may actually will fire him. But then later on, he said, we're going to evaluate the entire football operations department, which makes me think that he is going to be involved with
That was
Mara.
weird. At first, it was they are going to,
Yeah.
and then we.
And
We don't want you in this
okay,
we.
He said, like, free agency, maybe the guys who focus on free agency aren't doing a good enough job. The guys who focus on the draft aren't doing a good enough job. And he's going to be a part of that decision-making process. So I was kind of, all right, like, he's going to be evaluated himself. They're going to evaluate him. And then it was, oh, no, he's going to be a part of the evaluating, and it's going to be, the changes are going to be beneath him. The changes aren't going to be him.
The New York Giants made the press conference private.
Unbelievable. Otherwise, I mean, some of the things we expected him to say, he said young nucleus of talent, making excuses for guys' age, like, because
He's only 21.
Everyone in America starts a job at 21, 22 years old when they finish college. You think it's okay for them to show up late to meetings in their first jobs?
But Malik Neighbors is only 22 years old. It's like firing off a text.
Yep. Or some of the other highlights as well.
They were all, well, I got one for you. I understand your question.
Yeah, he understands. If anyone was wondering whether or not Joe Schoen understands the questions, he understands the questions.
They made the video private. People can't go back and watch it.
Unbelievable. Well, that's why you watch Giants Now. We'll have it here. Our video will not be private. We stream the entire thing, so you'll be able to potentially see it.
I do want to do this. We are going to sign off. I want to be able to get a video out of us reacting to this as soon as possible.
Okay.
So we're going to sign off on the channel. And we will have a video out on the channel ASAP. So subscribe, turn those notifications on. Or here, hold on real quick. You stay on, Andrew. Pop up that box. I want to go get some clarification real quick.
All right, what's going on, everyone? We're going to run through the super chats that came through. Shout out to you guys for supporting us, watching the Joe Schoen press conference, and we will catch up on those. I think everyone's feeling the same way right now about what just happened and what Joe Schoen said. So here we go. He had Christian come in with two. It said Sleepy Joe must have slept in late a second time. Yeah, no, he was working really hard to study those statistics to make sure he had the fact that the Giants were still ranked 30th in defense, ready to go. That's why he needed that extra time to prep, and that's why he was late. Nicholas, we are the best at being the worst. Joe Schoen, he's not even the best at that because the Giants have it when they have been able to potentially lose games that would benefit them in draft positioning later on the season. They've won those games. That's prevented them from getting impact players that could otherwise help them maybe have more than 5 wins in the last 2 seasons. Sam, we have our very own Sleepy Joe. Yeah, he was late. Torrance Scott, 30 minutes late, Coughlin would lose his effing mind. Yeah, we talked about that. Someone mentioned that in the comments before the press conference started as well. It just shows, it's just a microcosm of what's happened to this franchise from a guy like Tom Coughlin being 15 minutes early to right now Joe Schoen showing up to his own press conference 30 minutes late. Christian, I understand the question and not good enough. Yeah, those are we need counters of how many times Joe said those during his press conference.
I understand it now. I mean, what would be y'all's one-word reaction to the press conference? I'm curious. One-word reaction. Mine would be worthless. That's what Joe Schoen is. He's worthless. Unreal. Let's do not good enough. I understand the question. 2 wins, We have a young talent. We're an attractive place for a head coach. Joke. All right, let's do this. Push that across. Let's just start with like a full screen L3. Now, Shane presser reaction and do a want Joe Schoen fired like. And we can go back to full screen. And I'll talk for like 4 minutes or so, 3 minutes or so, and then we'll 2 minutes, just get to 8. Does that make sense?
Yeah, repeat that again. So reaction L3, then weigh in.
Of want him fired, like intro video, you'll splice that in.
Okay.
I'll roll for like 4 or 5 minutes just on my initial thoughts. I'll bring you in, we'll chop it up, and when we're done, we're done.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody in the building. We're actually going to send this. We're actually going to do the video live here on the channel. Still 1,500 people watching. Appreciate everybody. I don't know if you guys know, but Joe Schoen understands the question. Also, another thing I'm curious is they won't repeat the same mistakes. What are the mistakes?
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Well, I'm curious. What are the mistakes? Like, do you even know what the mistakes are? A joke. A joke. Awful answers, Moses. Fire him. Not good enough. Yep. Dumpster fire. How about Pat Leonard? He crushed it.
I loved it, and the follow-ups as well. For you guys, a little peek behind the curtain also. Like, we're sitting here reacting to this, and Marshall is like saying all the questions that he would ask Joe Schoen in the moment, and it's awesome because it just like shows that this is not okay what's going on right now, and credit to Pat for grilling him and asking him tough questions about. And that's when you can almost see Joe Schoen like giving the rehearsed answers to most of the questions. And when you saw him kind of break out of that, he started to scramble a little bit. He started to kind of like try to think about what he's going to say because he knows that he can't just give the 1-2 rehearsed answers that he spent 30 minutes preparing for. That's the reason he was late. It's good stuff. Not from Joe, but everyone else.
Did he admit that it was ownership that fired Brian Daboll? We kind of missed like the first 5 seconds.
Okay.
But like I doubt he said that. Just another Giants account is saying, admitted that it was ownership that fired Brian Daboll. Okay, so he said that at the start.
I don't know what he said, but he 100% said it.
Doesn't even have the nuts to fire a coach. Unreal. All right, if you just want to get that across, want him fired, like it, and then we'll come back to this. Unreal, man. I'm actually like, I'm usually really good at reacting to press conferences like right away, but my brain is just spinning on how stupid that was and how it was word salad. That's what it was, Andrew Connell. It was word salad up there. He said a lot of words. They didn't mean shit. They had no substance.
That's typical Joe Schoen. And the only time, like you said, when Pat asked him about that and he had to start to really actually think about what he was going to say instead of just what the PR team told him to say ahead of time, which was obviously it starts with him. He understands the question, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's where you really only got some, like, what his honest feelings are about what's going on. And, yeah, not really, and it almost gives a little bit of like a tone deaf, like he was trying so clearly to be like empathetic to the fans, but at the end of the day, like he still just admitted that like it's okay what's going on because they're gonna fix it. That's why. He said it's not good enough, but like there's no like accountability there. If there was accountability, he still wouldn't have his job.
All right, we ready? I understand your question. No. I understand your question. Pat, I understand your question. Jordan, I understand your question. Dan, I understand your question. We are live reacting to the Joe Schoen press conference where he understood every single reporter's question, but actually said really nothing. We're going to break it all down here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. But if you want the circus to be removed from 1925 Giants Drive, if you want the Giants and John Mara to smarten up and fire Joe Schoen, hit that thumbs up icon right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and I understand your question. Joe Schoen just had his bye-week press conference where he spoke to the media, and he was 35 minutes late. He was so late to his own press conference, they had to move it back 30 minutes after he was already late by 20 minutes. And then he was late again. He was late not once, but twice. The same number of wins the New York Giants have this year. Joe Schoen was late the same number of times to his own press conference that his football team has as many wins this year. The New York Giants are a clown show run by the biggest clown in the National Football League. Let's go through some of the things that Mr. Joseph Schoen had to say in his press conference. I'll start with this. It didn't necessarily seem like he was 100% safe in his job and that he was going to be here next year. He said it a couple of times. The New York Giants are going to take a look at all the football operations at the end of the season. But then at the end of the press conference, it shifted from the New York Giants to, we will take a look. Brother, we don't want you a part of this we anymore. I pray every night before I put my head on my pillow that you get fired or you resign because you have driven a once proud franchise, a franchise that has an existence of 101 years into the dirt. 5-25 in your last 30 games. And guess what he said? I understand your question, and it's not good enough. 2 wins is not good enough. He also keeps looking at the Daniel Jones, the 2023 offseason as the reason why they're in this spot. We did some things that we didn't truly believe in after the 2022 season. You know what it says about a man when they can't handle success? It's someone that shouldn't be in charge. If you can't handle success, you shouldn't be in a spot to handle success. He thought that Daniel Jones was the answer, and that 2022 football team was good enough to run it back. And he'll use that as an excuse forever. He also admitted that it was really ownership that fired Brian Daboll. Said, I love Daboll. We've been together a while. He's going to be great at whatever he does. Think about this. You're the general manager of the football team, and you aren't even allowed to fire the head coach. That's what John Mara thinks of you. Hopefully he thinks enough of you, or not enough of you, to blast your ass to the sun. Because you need to be fired. You're the worst GM in the NFL, and I could make the argument you're the worst GM in all of sports, brother. So he admitted that it wasn't even him who fired the coach. Oh, and if I didn't say it already, he understands your question. If you don't know why I'm saying that, I shit you not. He said it 8 times in the press conference to reporters asking questions saying, I understand your question. No, I do. I truly understand your question. Well, let me go through some of my notes here that I had on the presser. I'm obviously an emotional wreck here on the show, but I just can't stand what is going on and what has happened to our New York Football Giants. He was asked, how close are we to competing? He says, we're at 2 wins. Got to do better. We're not there. He was also asked about how there is a belief amongst the fan base that Jaxson Dart was a Brian Daboll guy and not a Joe Schoen guy. And in classic Joe Schoen fashion, he gives off the smartest guy in the room vibe, and I am better than you. Jaxson Dart was the first 30 visit I have ever scheduled, the earliest top 30 visit I ever scheduled in January after we spoke to him at the Senior Bowl. He said, Joe Schoen points out that his scouting staff and all were aware of Jaxson Dart before Brian Daboll. He just had to stab Brian Daboll in the back one more time before he never had to talk about him again, to let him know, Dabes, this actually wasn't your guy. I know I went to every single practice in the fall to Boulder, Colorado to hang out with Shador and Dion Jr. and Shiloh, and I wanted Shador Sanders, him, but it was always Jaxson Dart. I never scheduled a top 30 visit earlier than everybody else. And then he says, calls the drafting of Jaxson Dart an organizational decision, and he adds, it looks like it's going to pay off. He also says interim coach Mike Kafka will get a real look for the permanent head coaching job. Once again, it's gas on the fire of how dumb Joe Schoen is as a general manager. Did you watch yesterday? The Giants were down 15 points with 9 minutes left in the game, and they were running the football. They were trying to establish the run with 9 minutes left, down 15. Joe Schoen also says Abdul Carter is smart and understands the magnitude of his actions and also understands what it means to be a pro. These kids are 21 years old, and they're thrust into the spotlight in New York City. It's not always going to be perfect. I want to bring on my guy, Andrew Connell, because I just want to talk through this quote. Smart and understands the magnitude of his actions and also understands what it means to be a pro. These are kids, 21 years old, and they're thrust into the spotlight of New York. Andrew, I'm curious. At 21 years old, do meeting times differ than when you're 25 years old? And are meeting times more unclear in the city of New York? Because that is why he has been suspended not once but twice. I don't understand. I'm confused.
100%. Like, every person in America either starts a job at 18 or earlier than that. They have their first part-time job where they graduate. If they go to college, they graduate and they start a job at 21, 22 years old. It's never okay to be late. It's never acceptable in any workplace to be late.
Well, unless you're the GM and you get to show up 35 minutes late to your own press conference.
Right, yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah,
shit happens.
If you're Joe Schoen, it's okay. If you're Abdul Carter, it's okay a couple times, and then it's okay with only minimal reaction to miss one series, and then it's okay, still minimal reaction to miss 2 series. I don't know if he's hinting at because it's New York and us as the fans are making it a bigger deal than it needs to be because we're New York Giants fans, and that's why it's so hard for Abdul Carter to deal with all the backlash he's getting. I don't know, but it's just.
And Malik Neighbors is only 22 years old, and he sent off a mad text. It was like a text of a tweet, but he's engaged. He's interested. Yeah. And you know what? He's still watching football.
I know. For him to, like, how amazing is it for Malik to still watch football on Sundays? I mean, like, it's just, like, that's so hard to turn on football and watch it. And I get it. He wants to be out there, and it stinks, and he feels like he can't help the team because he's injured right now. But you're certainly not helping the team by firing off tweets, questioning the coaching, questioning the decision-making, questioning the leadership. Just excuses. And Joe Schoen not only made excuses for himself, but made excuses for all of his draft picks as well. He stood up there and he shielded them and he took the bullets for them. He tried to protect them, but it's not acceptable. It's not okay. But
why haven't we talked about Chris Manhertz yet?
Yeah, apparently Chris Manhertz is a real leader on this team, and he's really helped Theo Johnson develop. And
did he teach him how to catch the football?
Yeah, that may be the most important part, and yet he somehow didn't teach him that. I saw someone in the comments. This was great. If the Giants re-signed Saquon Barkley, they wouldn't have John Runyon.
If he uttered this words. If we would have re-signed a safety, talking about Xavier McKinney, we wouldn't have added a pass rusher. You know what? In theory, that sounds right. But the very next spring, you cashed out Javon Holland. So wait. Are you paying a safety and an edge rusher now?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Defying the laws of
does he understand free agency? I know he understands questions, but does he understand free agency?
It doesn't seem like it, so.
2 wins is not where we want to be right now. It's not good enough. I understand the frustration from fans, ownership, the people inside the building. Nobody is more frustrated than myself. It starts with me. I'm tasked with trying to get this organization back in the proper direction. It's year 4, and you have 2 wins in 13 weeks. The only thing Joe Schoen is good at is getting closer and closer and closer to the number 1 pick.
But not actually getting it.
Yep. After his first season, they had the 23rd pick, 25th pick. Then it was the 6th pick. Then it was the 3rd pick. And today, if the draft was today, they'd have the number 2 pick. The standard, I can't believe he uttered this with a straight face. The standard is to compete for championships year in and year out. That's the plan moving forward. Was it not the plan ever? Is it now the plan for the New York Giants to compete for championships? Brother, you can't even win 7 games. You can't even win the division. How the fuck are you going to win a championship? Unreal. We're going to do everything we can right now to support Mike Kafka. That's our primary focus. At the appropriate time, we'll get into potential coaches, research, and we'll do a thorough collaborative research. That's what he is. He's the guy with the glasses that has to push him to his face. He's a nerd. He's a nerd. And not a smart nerd either. Unreal.
You said the only thing he's good at is getting closer to the first pick. I would also like to add he's good at understanding questions as well.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
As for the roster, I do believe there is a good young core to build around here. It will be an attractive job for many coaches. I'm excited to get that process going as we move forward.
This was later on. He said, or they said something about having like how they're going to fill the job, and he's like, "Oh, based on the calls we've gotten, like we're going to have no problem."
Someone was like, Jordan Renan, shout out to him of ESPN, said, "What if there is a coach that wants to be the head coach that doesn't want to essentially work for you?" He said, "Based on the calls, we'll be all right."
Yeah, we'll be all right. We know we're going to. So. He already knows who he's hiring, I guess, unless he doesn't know whether or not he's able to make the hire. I don't know.
Ownership made a decision to move on. I'm going to control what I can control. Talking about Brian Daboll. I have a lot of faith in the people. I have a lot of faith in the people in the building and the resources we have. These kids are 21 years old, thrust into the spotlight of New York City. It's not always going to be perfect. People make mistakes. He went up there, and he kind of just sang the Miley Cyrus song. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. He literally said, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
He said he's not perfect. He's not going to.
Joe, we know you're not
perfect.
He's not
going to bat 1,000.
How about bat 150?
We were still holding out that you were going to get there, man.
How about you bat 150, Joe Schoen?
Joe Schoen couldn't even make it out of Double-A right now.
Who's the outfielder for the Yankees that just paid $22 million?
Grisham.
You're Trent Grisham in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You bat .083. I didn't anticipate we would still be 30th in the league in defense at this point with the addition of those players, but we are, and we are got to do a better job.
Code word, the coaching is not good enough. He got good enough
But he
players.
started the press conference saying Shane Bowen was a good coach.
Oh, I mean, clearly anyone who watched the Giants could tell Shane Bowen's a
Wait, so is it Shane Bowen's a good coach and the players aren't good enough? Or when you said 15 minutes later the players were good enough and the coaching wasn't good enough? Which one is it, brother? Pick a side. Pick a side. You're up there talking word salad. You don't know what the fuck you're saying, and you don't mean the shit you're saying because you are hopefully a dead man walking. How close are we? 2 wins, not close enough. The chances of me batting 1,000 are gone because I've made mistakes. Yeah, no shit. No shit you made mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to have those days.
I forget who asked the question as well, but there was one where they asked about, like, the players that haven't been good enough that are still on the roster or still given opportunities, like, essentially, I think, referring to guys like Deontay Banks, Evan Neal, Jalen Hyatt, and, like, he refused to kind of address those big misses. They were saying guys that are taking up roster spots that are preventing depth or whatever was the question. Yeah, like, Joe Schoen has missed – he's missed a lot, as he somewhat admitted he's not perfect. So he does make mistakes, but he's made mistakes on big draft picks, premium draft capital, and it's hurt the depth of this team.
But he understands the question.
He understood.
Do you think he understands the job of being a general manager?
Questionable at best.
If you want the New York Giants to fire Joe Schoen, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's set a channel record on today's show. If everybody watching this video hit that thumbs up icon, there will probably be, once again, people inside the building that watch this show, because I know they do. If you want Joe Schoen to be fired, hit that thumbs up icon. We'll see you later. Unreal, man. I really... You're supposed to leave those things and feel inspired. I don't even know if this is a word. I'm more uninspired than I was after the loss last night. I'm more uninspired right now than I was after the loss last night, where you got your teeth kicked in 33-15.
It was just nothing. No accountability, no action being taken. Like, it's, again, he's saying that what's happening is not acceptable, but he doesn't mean it. He doesn't actually believe it. He believes that he has done nothing wrong in the situation, and that all of the issues are results of other people, whether it's Brian Daboll, whether it's Mike Kafka, whether it's the people underneath him in his own departments that are going to be evaluated at the end of the season. Joe has done nothing wrong, or when he has done wrong, it wasn't because he wanted it to. He got away from what he believes in. What he believed in was always the right thing, and any mistake that he's made was because he didn't believe that it was the right thing, but he got out of his process.
Awesome super chat coming in from Ramdre81. Joe says, I learn from my mistakes and don't repeat them. Well, what about Graham Gano? Graham Gano lost you games in 2023. He lost you games in 2024. He's now lost you games in 2025. I think that's the same mistake, not once, but twice, but thrice.
Yeah, it's the kicker. We saw, again, the kicker wasn't the reason the Giants lost last night, but still just not good enough. He continues to have Graham Gano on the roster, cause them issues, and then he continues to not have a good enough kicker. Special teams in general. We saw Jamie Gillen have a poor punt at the end of a game when the Giants really needed field position. I think that was Chicago. Just unreal. Doesn't prioritize special teams and keeps season after season. If Joe Schoen just learned from all his mistakes, the Giants would have won the Super Bowl by now, because he would never make the same mistake twice, and that would be it.
You're right. He won't make it twice. He'll make it 3 times.
How do you if you learn from all your mistakes, then how does your team get worse and worse every year if you're making, in theory, less and less mistakes? All right, we'll continue to run through some of the super chats that came in. Appreciate you guys being patient and watching with us. Appreciate the support.
I can't believe it, man.
Marty Malela, $20. What is he evaluating? Joe couldn't evaluate himself out of a paper bag.
Hopefully he's evaluating when he should sell his house. Hopefully he's evaluating the housing market, and he can sell it and make a lot of money. Torrance Scott, appreciate you, brother. Hear me out. If they keep this clown, there are enough real ones here to buy all the ticks for a home game next year, just not show up. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll tell you this much. The voice of this channel, due to all of you, is extremely strong. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. Michael Champlin, those signings suck, Joe. He mentioned Chauncey Golston, who can't even play because his neck is broken. Roy Robertson-Harris.
Great.
The run defense has been terrible for 4 years in a row. You know how he fixed it this year? By signing a pass-rushing defensive tackle and Roy Robertson-Harris and adding a defensive end in Chauncey Golston. That's going to fix the run defense.
Yep.
But we don't pay safeties because we want to pay edge rushers. But you paid Javon Holland. Checks out. Checks out. Miles. In order to have Barkley, you don't have Runyon. Yeah. Hey, look, you guys want Barkley? Oh, we wouldn't have John Runyon. We wouldn't have Jermaine Illuminor. I mean, who would not take John Runyon over Saquon Barkley? Does he think we're stupid?
I think he does. We don't understand the questions.
No, we don't. Yeah, you're right.
We don't understand.
We don't understand it. 4 Sports, blowing leads to press conferences now and crawling through by deflecting questions and avoiding accountability. Joe the Ass Pain, Shane, ladies and gentlemen. 100% agree. On the money. On the money. My guy back again. Appreciate you watching the show. Appreciate you supporting the show. Did you just say better than he was 4 years ago? He did. In fact, he said, I am a better This was the quote, and it'll be a little bit mixed up. It was, I promise you this, I'm a better GM now than I was 4 years ago. And I think he said, God willing.
God willing.
God willing, if I'm here this time next year, I'll be better than I was today, or better than I would be in a year from now than I was today. Joe, you picked 6th. Then you picked 3rd. Now you're picking 2nd. Does he think the goal is to get the number 1 pick of the draft?
That's it. They'll be there. I'm close. I'm so close. I'm almost at the goal. We'll be there. Oh, man.
It's a comedy act. Unreal. Marty Malela, ICP, said it best. Yeah, Marty, we love you. Joe Schoen turned the Giants into 100% right. 100% right. 100% right. For sports, somehow I hate him more after this. What do you mean? The Giants are young nucleus of talent.
They got so many people who want to be the coach of this team. They gotten all the calls that really ready to go. So
Unreal. Mikey, Dior. Collective unfollow and not buying tickets might do the trick. What's sad is that's never going to happen. Is that the real Justin Pennick in the chat? He had to sign Runyon and Illuminor because he whiffed on Neal and Azudu. Yeah, no, I think he still thinks Azudu could be the swing tackle. I think he still thinks he could still be the swing tackle, Justin. I can't believe it. I tell myself every day, stop getting upset with the New York Giants. And I can't.
I don't really know what.
I'm addicted to being upset.
I don't
with
really
this
know what I
football team.
expected coming in today, but somehow it was worse than what I expected.
I don't. I still can't believe he said, "You want Saquon? We're not gonna we
Say goodbye to John Runyon, man.
And like for me, this
but
the Saquon Barkley thing isn't even in the top 5 of why he should be fired, in my opinion. And I said it. I think it was right process. Sometimes you do the right process and get the wrong result. But to double down and say, what, you didn't want John Runyon and Motor Singletary?
that it just further reinforces that belief that he looks at everything as on a spreadsheet and not on the football field. It's like, well, the cap dollars that we had to give to John Runyon, that otherwise they would have been Saquon Barkley's, and then we wouldn't have had enough for a right guard or a left guard or whatever. Like, sometimes it's just about football, man. You just got to look at the guy and say, that's a good football player. He needs to be on my team. You don't have to look at it in terms of cap dollars and slot value and all that kind of stuff, because sometimes having a good running, like a superstar running back, may actually be more important than having an average to below average left guard.
The thing that, and I could create a list of 100 reasons I'm upset today. One of the things at the top was, at the start of the interview, Andrew, it was, the Giants are going to evaluate all football operations at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then somehow he built a bridge by the end of the press conference, and it turned into, we are going to make a decision on the football operations. Brother, you don't deserve a job. I loved what Pat Leonard did today. He kept on saying, well, you keep on saying it's your fault, but it was also Brian Daboll's fault and Shane Bowen's fault, and they don't have a job. Why do you still have a job? I understand your question. The clap back from Pat Leonard was, I kept on like, you know what I imagine? I imagine all the other beat reporters in there looking around like, keep going, Pat. Keep going. Like, usually you ask a question and maybe you get a follow-up. He got like 4 follow-ups on one question.
And Joe wasn't saying, and he was going to keep answering because he knew that the answers weren't good enough. He just needed to keep getting enough opportunities in order to say something that was okay enough.
I think that's when he hit the I'll just say this, Pat.
Yeah, what was it? That he's not perfect, or everybody makes mistakes. That was as you sang quite beautifully, I might add. So
I thought Jordan had a couple of good questions. I thought Duggan had some good questions. I actually thought Schwartz asked a good question. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I thought that he had a good question as well. Art's question about asking if Jaxson Dart was Daboll guys or his guys. Did he put it on the tee for him to hit a 500-foot drive as well to claim victory and say Jaxson Dart was always like? I seriously want to know. Do you think? I would love to ask Art this question. Did you think that Joe Schoen was going to say, "Yep, you're right. You're right. It was Brian Daboll's guy." Like, you gave him the best driver in the game. You put him on the short tee on a par 3. You put the ball there and you let him drive it to the hole. I think, you know what's crazy is? Joe Schoen understood that question. Yeah. He didn't have to let Art know that he understood it as well.
It's almost like he almost says he understands the questions he doesn't understand. Unreal. This is shout out to Chris George reminding us of this. Why do you do this today? Hard Knocks starts tonight, so we get to watch the New York Giants and this season on TV yet again.
I think I could be wrong. I don't think the Giants are going to be featured much in Hard Knocks. Based on like the trailer that came out, they weren't featured all that much. I hope they are. I'm curious what week it's going to start on, like when it airs tonight. Like what week in the season will it be? We'll see. But why do they do it today? They always do it
Monday after the bye.
They usually always do it either Monday after the bye, but since they played on Monday Night Football, they did it on Tuesday after the bye. When it was getting delayed, I was just hoping that it was going to be John Mara popping through. We fired him. I was ready to stone cold Steve Austin these and celebrate. But you know what? We don't get to do that. The only thing we get to celebrate is being in the top 10 of the NFL draft.
We're not even the best at being the worst. Someone said that earlier. Weird.
Unreal. Chris, appreciate you, brother. Formula Red, what's up, my man? Thank you for supporting the show. Sounded more like a job interview where he was just justified it. Yeah, I mean, was it just me or was he like breathing really heavily at the start? I don't know if someone else was mic'd up that wasn't on the screen, but it sounded like he was like just got done running a 5K or something.
Yeah, he was nervous. I'm sure maybe he's had to speak to John Mara to brief him before the meeting on what he was going to say. I don't know, but I agree with Formula Red. It sounded like I was picturing this as like he's like talking directly to John Mara as to why he should keep his job. And I hope
he did not look comfortable up there.
I hope John Mara will be asking him some of these same questions. And if I'm Joe, I would probably get some better answers than the one he had today. I'm
blanking on the guy's name that was like essentially the PR guy that he spoke to on Hard Knocks.
I don't remember
his name either. But do you think it was just, Joe, any question you don't want to answer, just say, I understand your question. I understand your question. Anytime they ask you a good, tough question, you got to respond with, respectfully, I understand your question.
Yeah, I think that's basically code for I'm not going to answer this question. I'm just going to give you, as you said, word salad that kind of sounds like something but it's really nothing. And that's it. Yeah.
I can't believe that he was late. Not once, but twice. He was late to his own press conference. The same amount of times as the Giants have won football games this year. He's the guy.
Shit happens.
Let's extend him.
Shit happens.
Well, shit happens. Shit happens. You're right. Shit happens. Leo. What's up, my man? Connell, Marshall Giants fans, we're cooked. We are deep fried, brother. We are double-baked potatoes. We are cooked. Finito. It's over, baby. It's over. Eddie, what up, man? Joe Schoen, I understand the question. Equals Joe Judge. I need to go back and look at the tape. Or what about Mike Kafka?
Evaluate everything.
What about Mike Kafka? This was my decision.
Yeah.
What about that Mike Kafka press conference last night?
I understand the questions. Maybe forget about this was my decision. I can't believe I forgot about this was my decision.
It was, I love how he said it was my decision. And then he followed it up with, but you guys saw how good of a player he was when he was out there.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't disciplinary. And then someone asked a different form of it being. And what did he say?
He said it was his decision. It wasn't a disciplinary thing. And then someone said, how upsetting is it that this has now happened twice or whatever? Because the first one was publicly a disciplinary thing. And he said, yeah, it's like it's really upsetting, or we want him to do better, or it's not ideal, or something like that. So he basically, after denying that it was a disciplinary thing, and then someone asked the follow-up question in a different way, and he admitted that it was a disciplinary thing.
But it was his decision.
It was Mike Kafka's decision, though.
But he's a really good player.
Yeah.
But it's my decision as an interim head coach who's trying to win games to get a job. I didn't play him, and it wasn't disciplinary, but he's really good, and it was my decision.
Hey, you saw that sack at the line of scrimmage?
Oh, that sack of 1 yard gain? I've never seen a 1 yard gain be a sack before.
Yeah.
He waited all 14 weeks to do whatever nonsense that was. Not only was he late to the meetings, he was late to the sack party. It started 13 weeks ago. Drew, my man, thank you, Eddie. Do you think Joe... Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Jared, bro really said I'm better today than 4 years ago.
And don't worry, he'll be better this time next year, God willing.
The
he
fact
gets to
that
keep his
we're
job.
even discussing whether or not this is actually valid is crazy. Imagine you started your job, and after 4 years, you were either worse or not better at it, or it wasn't clear that you had gotten much better at your job after 4 years of doing it. I think that says all that you need to know. Ramdre, shout out to you. We talked about
Everybody
this,
makes mistakes.
about the
Everybody
kicker
has those
situation
days.
with Graham Gano.
Nobody's perfect. You got to work it.
Michael, from the hit TV show from Joe Schoen, the understander comes in, the contradictor.
Yeah, not good. Drew, at this point, I think Carson Shane will be better than him. The bar is low. The bar is low.
I
That's
wish
for sure.
someone should have asked him whether or not he was dependable or not because he showed up late to his press conference. Smart.
I love how he doesn't even address that.
Yeah, at least we didn't catch that. I don't know if he said something at the beginning or not, but
I don't think he did. Jay, thank you for supporting the channel, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody being here. First time we've done something like this. Appreciate it. Jay, back again. I'm red in the face. I couldn't watch that whole conference. Fire Joe. I shouldn't have to beg for a high draft pick every year. Well, you don't. You don't have to beg for a
Joe
high
will
draft pick.
deliver.
When Joe Schoen is your GM, you don't got to beg for a high
serve
draft
it up
pick.
on a platter right there. Top 10 every year. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate your support, man. Thunder, thunder.
Thunder, thunder. Oh. Marsh, did you understand the question? Yep. No, I understand your question. I understand your question. Is that the title of the video we're about to put out? I understand your question.
Oh, my God.
Thunder.
Joe Schoen understands your question.
We love you, brother. Mario, Shane, I don't even know what that means. I don't even think I can say that. Appreciate you, brother. Calm, soothing nature. Did they ask about the kickers? No, because he learned his lesson. He never makes the same mistake twice.
Never.
Unless it's about the kicker, he makes it 4 times.
Never.
He lost. So you went to the game he lost with Graham Gano. Which game was that, Jets?
I've won to multiple games where he lost with Graham Gano. The Jets game at home where he missed the field goal and then Zach Wilson led the game-winning drive. And I went to the game in Washington last year where Graham Gano shredded his hamstring on the opening kickoff, which didn't even count because it was a penalty that got returned for a touchdown. And then Jamie Gillen couldn't hit extra points, so they had to go for 2 every time. They missed it.
And then I think there was another one where he tried to I know he got hurt in pregame. He got hurt.
Week 3 this year against the Chiefs.
Yes, he missed that one. And then he also lost the game because of the International Player Pathway Program.
Jude McCatney.
However you say his name. He's legitimately lost 4 games because of kickers, but he never makes the same mistake twice.
I've been to 2. I've witnessed 2 of them in person. The Jet game, a lot of issues that game. But
I honestly want to say there was 3 games with Graham Gano.
We did say 3.
Did we say 3? Okay.
Yeah, the 2 I've been to, and
I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
The Chiefs won this year, where
I had Mr. Rick, who I think is watching right now. I think it was the Jets game he was at.
Whatever the last time they played.
Was the Commanders game also at MetLife?
No, that was on the road.
I had Mr. Rick text me during the game. He goes, he texted me. He said Graham Gano was hurt in pregame warmups. He can't make a kick past 35 yards, and he went on to play. That might have been the Jets game.
I mean, the conditions were terrible that day. All they needed, it was like a high 20s yard field goal or like a 30-yard field goal that would have put the game out of reach. Instead, he misses it. Pouring rain, cold. Still got to make a 30-yard kick. I don't care who you are. And then the great Zach Wilson goes down and leads a game-winning drive to send the game into overtime, and then the Giants lose in overtime, 40 degrees and raining. That was a fun one. And then, against Washington, the game I was at, it was the opening kickoff.
That was when he got hurt in the game.
Washington returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Gano was trying to chase the guy down and ended up not counting because of a penalty, but he was done after that. And then this is another thing. Your punter should be able to make an extra point. Jamie Gillen can't make extra points, and they had to go for 2 every time. They missed every single time.
As I didn't understand your question, I want to say that there were 4 games. I think there was another one. KC this year, Jets, Commanders. There was another game as well.
Graham Gano, not counting the Jude game.
Yes. Unreal.
All the losses blend together. I can't.
I mean, there's 25 of them in the last 30 games. How could we remember every detail about every single one? There's so many. The most. Isaiah.
Calm, soothing nature sound.
Even Dart said he might not have been here without Daboll. Crazy for Joe to stab him in the back. Yep, no, that's who he is. Yeah, Mr. Rick, what? I'm sure you remember. What game was that? There was a game, I know for a fact Jets, I know Washington. There was another game, though. There was another game. I don't remember which one, though. Jay Liv, why do I want to revisit this lousy season? It's the 1970s all over again. Yeah. We're all having so much fun, aren't we? Hey, no one's perfect, though.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yep. Don't worry, I'll be better next year.
Yeah. Calm, soothing nature sounds back again. How come the defense can't tackle the number one skill to have in tackle football?
Dude, not everyone's perfect. What if I did a whole show where I just answered questions like Joe Schoen? Would y'all like that? Would y'all like that? Maybe we do a live mailbag where I answer questions as Joe Schoen.
Starts with you.
I understand your question. Unreal.
Caught up on super chats. Thank you for everyone for support.
Okie dokie. We are going to sign off on today's stream. Appreciate everybody for being here. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't yet, subscribe on your way out. We're on the road to 99,000 subs. Shout out to all y'all. Appreciate you. Leo Stunts' Viking game started the Gano debacle. The
First
Vikings.
game of last season.
Did he miss a kick in that game? I don't
I mean,
remember.
they
I
were-
know for a fact.
They got smacked in that game.
I know for a fact there were 3 games before this year that Graham Gano caused you to lose. PFI88 says you got a weird definition of fun. This isn't fun to you? Winning 5 games in the last 30 isn't fun?
It's the most fun.
Don't worry, though, guys. The people that point out problems and aren't okay with losses are the problem. So I'm the problem. Andrew Kyle's the problem.
fans' problem.
Vinny Pip's the problem. CTM is the problem. And Cha is the problem. I love y'all. We'll see y'all later. Let's go, Giants.